I'm bigcal, and welcome to my world. Today is another recent video games pickups video. So, last month I went through to Sheffield to visit two of my local retro video game shops, and today is the pickups from the first one, Super Retro Video Games, formerly Game and Movie. Been there a number of times over the years. If you go back through the playlist of my recent video game pickups videos, you'll see quite a lot with either Game and Movie or Super Retro Video Games. Yep, so I didn't pick up that much from this one. I picked up more from the other one. But yeah, going to show them off anyway. One in particular, really cool pickup. Wasn't expecting to find there. Was very happy to see it. And yeah, picked it up. Firstly though, I'll just quickly go through some Xbox 360 Kinect games. Don't have video game footage to show for these because I'd have to connect my Kinect. And that would involve having to take everything downstairs, rearrange the fucking living room so there's enough room for it all, and then move about like a complete idiot. And I don't plan to do that just yet. I've been buying up Kinect games for some time now. I'm aiming for a complete collection, certainly PAL at least, because the Xbox 360 isn't region free, and the whole soft mod thing for it right now isn't quite where I would like it to be in order to soft mod the system and run games off a hard drive. We're getting there, finally, after all these years. It's getting very close to where I'd want it to be. But yeah, Kinect games. So we have U-Star 2 in the movies. I'm just not entirely sure how it works or anything like that. So, yeah, but it says it features scenes from likes of The Godfather, which awesome. The Terminator, cool. And nothing else that interests me on there. But, there's 300, American Pie, Angels and Demons, Animal House, Apollo 13, Baby Mama. Never heard of that. Beverly Hills Cop, The Blues Brothers, Casablanca, Coming to America, CSI Miami. That's not a movie. Employee of the Month. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Forrest Gump, Gladiator, The Godfather, The Hangover, I Am Legend, The Italian Job, The Karate Kid, Kick-Ass, Kindergarten Cop, King Kong, Mad Men, also not a movie, The Matrix, Meet the Parents, Men in Black, The Nutty Professor, Rocky, Scarface, Shaun of the Dead, Star Trek the Original Series. It's got the damn series in the fucking title, it's not a movie. The Terminator, Tropic Thunder, Up in Smoke, The Wizard of Oz, Zoolander, and many more. Yeah, includes 80 scenes with hundreds more available. So does it include 80 scenes, or does it include over 100 scenes? That's just a very weird way of putting it. Includes 80 scenes, with over 100 more available. So 180. Yeah, I'm just rambling on to try and make the Kinect part of this video slightly longer, because I don't have video game footage to show off. And of course, I couldn't believe I didn't own this one already. This was like the Kinect game when it first released. This is what they were showing off for the power of the Kinect. And the stuff they showed off never actually happened because I think they realised, oh no, wait, we can't actually do that. And that is Kinectimals. Yeah, so unfortunately you can't, draw a picture of the animal and scan it through your Kinect and it'll appear in the game like they showed off in the footage originally, but yeah. I don't actually know what you can do in the game because, like I said, everything they showed off, you can't actually do. And lastly, we have Fantastic Pets. Yeah, I assume this is sort of like Kinectimals, but with, unicorns and dragons and things instead of actual animals. Well, dragons are actual animals, but I mean, the whole legendary fire-breathing, massive, flying about dragons, those don't exist. Or do they? Right, moving on then, we have an Xbox 360 game that isn't Kinect. And I've actually been really getting into Xbox 360 games as of late. There's actually quite a few more I would want to buy, and I'm going to get to them eventually. But yeah, there's a particular genre that I'm really interested in exploring more these days. Not something I was interested in at the time, but now, yeah. And that is first and third person shooters. Because there were a crap ton of them on this generation of consoles between the Xbox 360 and the PS3. And they were just inundated with them. Yeah, there were just tons of them. all trying to compete, and nobody really cared outside of, your Halos and your Call of Duties for the most part. A couple got through, but yeah, and there were just so many of them at like £2 and £3. It's like, I want to try and buy up these and see if any of them are actually good. And the first one I picked up was Time Shift. So, Time Shift is a time travel shooty game. In the future, 2 time suits are created, Alpha and Beta, or Beta. Is it Beta or Beta? I don't know. Anyway, the crazy director of the suit project steals the Beta suit and blows up the facility, then travels back in time to take over the world. You, another scientist, grab the Alpha suit and follow him back in time to stop him. You meet up with a resistance group and help them out. Your suit has time abilities allowing you to slow, stop and even rewind time for short periods, either to aid in battle or to help solve environmental puzzles. It seems decent enough so far after I played it for about an hour. My biggest complaint is that I can almost never actually see enemies on screen, as they tend to blend into the background. As one issue that a lot of these shooty games in the time period had is they were all pretty much just sort of grey and dull, and everything just merged together. The radar does help, and of course the time abilities can make up for any small mistakes that you do happen to make. So yeah, only cost me either £2 or £3, I can't remember this one. Yeah, it's also available on PS3, but I thought, maybe I'll get these all for the Xbox 360. It's supposed to run these games a little bit better, so why not? I have a crap ton of PS3 games as it is. Maybe I should start collecting for the 360 for a change. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting one. I enjoyed my time with it. And yeah, you end up going back in time to, I think, the 40s, but instead of the Nazis and World War II, it's this crazy evil scientist who's taken over the world with his new technology. Yeah, so pretty interesting. Next then, we have a game that I wasn't expecting to see there, because unlike the next video, for the next store that I go to in my local area, they have a website and you can go on and see what's for sale, and you can even buy and order them in and everything. But I went on to look, see what was there, made some notes, and then went through and picked them up myself. I prefer looking in them usually. Yeah, so Super Retro Video Games don't have a website, so you don't know what's going to be there other than posts on social media when they get new items in stock. And I'd also taken in some games to actually sell to them for a change. I had a bunch of duplicates I was wanting to get rid of, a couple of accessories. I wasn't expecting much. I got £30 in total. Yeah, nothing there was worth much. A couple of PS3 games that were worth like 50p probably. A NES game, maybe worth a tenner. I think the most expensive thing I had there was Dragon Quest Monsters 2 Kobe's Journey, or Kobe's Adventure. I think it's Kobe's Journey, Tara's Adventure. I had a spare Kobe's Journey, and that's the most expensive game, yeah, so that boosted up the price to 30. So when I saw this game and I saw the price, like, oh, I don't really want to pay, but it's like, oh, I'm getting 30 quid from them for these games, makes it a hell of a lot of better deal. And that is The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel Special Collector's Edition for the PlayStation Vita. This is the beginning of the Erebonian arc that introduces us to Reinschwarzer and Class 7. It's set in Thor's military academy, and Class 7 brings together nobles and commoners in a special class that includes field studies, requiring them to do similar work to Bracers and the SSS from previous games. Cold Steel was the first Trails game to be in full 3D, and it looked great for the time. The PS3/Vita versions are a step behind the PS4 and PC versions, but I think it still looks good. But no matter which version you play, it is still a fantastic game in what is perhaps my favourite game series ever, right up there with Dragon Quest. Yeah, and the funny thing is as well, I'd been really in the mood for replaying Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2, as the games never got ported to the Switch because of the rights to them are with Exceed rather than NISA, who basically do all the others at the moment, except for the the current remakes of the Trails in the Sky trilogy. it is very confusing. But yeah, so we only got Cold Steel 3 onwards on the Switch, and if Cold Steel 1 and 2 were on the Switch and I could play handheld, I'd have replayed them a bunch of times. But when I actually have to sit down in front of a screen and play an RPG like that, I'm less inclined to do it, unless it's the first time playing through. When I'm replaying, I like to lay in bed, handheld. I think that's how RPGs should be played. So yeah, I was in the mood for replaying them, and I decided, I've had them on Steam for years. I've never played them on Steam yet. I've played them on PS4 a couple of times. Yeah, let's play them on Steam. So I started replaying the game, and then saw this in the shop. Now then, is this it here? Yes. So, you may remember a while ago, somebody, who was it? Oh, it was my friend from Australia. Hello. Sent me The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel for the PlayStation Vita. And I didn't have a Vita at the time. I still don't, but I do have now a PS TV that I showed off last year during a Wheel of Games episode. Watch that if you haven't. And I modified it so, yeah, it can play all Vita games, not just some of them. And yeah, so until then, I'd never really had a reason to really look at this properly. So, when I got the PS TV, I wanted to test out an actual physical game. So I opened this up, put in the cartridge, started up the game. This isn't Cold Steel 1, this is Cold Steel 2. Because the cartridges are so small and the writing is even smaller on them, I never realised Cold Steel 1 box, Cold Steel 2 cartridge. So, yeah, even he doesn't know how he ended up with that. So, yeah, I was always thinking, right, I would like to get a copy of Cold Steel 1, just the cartridge, and then try and get the box for Cold Steel 2. Yeah, I've done, eBay searches and everything, and never able to find the game, just the cartridge on its own or anything. So when I saw this, I thought, yes, that'll be fine. And I'll do something with this at some point, but for now, it's just sitting there. Yeah, so I own the actual game properly this time. So let's open it up and have a look at what's inside. So nice little box here. And we have a nice art book with all the stuff from Cold Steel 1. Let's just open it up, get something. Yep, so we have two of the characters there. And yeah, they always do art books for these games, and they're always really nice. Yeah, I got all the characters and some story elements and things. Lots of designs and whatnot. There's one there for the big train in the game. You know what you know. Yeah, so you get a nice art book with it. And then there is also the game, which includes the actual Trails of Cold Steel 1 cartridge inside. So that's cool. And then lastly in here is the Erebonian Empire pin. Big box for a rather small pin, just the logo, for the Erebonian Empire. Don't know if you'll see that on camera properly. I'll take a picture later. Yeah, so unlike what you'll get in later collector's editions, you don't get much with this. But yeah, it is very nice to own. I was very excited to see it, and as soon as I saw it and I realised, oh, I'm getting 30 quid knocked off it anyway, I'm going to have that. And indeed, I now have that. Oh, need to put the art book back. Silly me, thought it felt a bit light. There we go. And then lastly, to go along with it, I picked up The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2 in the actual Cold Steel 2 box. I know, fancy. Trails of Cold Steel 2 is a fantastic example of what a sequel should be. More of what was great about Cold Steel 1, with various improvements from quality of life and combat, and even better world building and story. It picks up where the first game ended and kicks things into high gear with brand new gameplay mechanics that make this one of the best Trails games in my opinion. It's honestly crazy how much of an impact this particular game has on the entire series, with the gameplay mechanics, the story, the new lore, and the characters it introduces. Incredible game. Yeah, so obviously by the time we recorded this video, I have played through Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2 on the PC. Love them both, and yeah, my opinion of both games has gone up. I already really liked them, but Cold Steel 2 in particular,
Mine was
definitely up there as one of the better Trails games. It's very difficult to rank them once they get higher up there because I love so many of them, and so many of them I consider close to being the best. It's very difficult. So yeah, and yeah, those are the games that I picked up from Super Retro Video Games, and very, very happy, of course, with that one in particular. Time Shift, a really fun, really cheap shooty game for that generation. Pick it up if you're interested in those types of games. Of course, Cold Steel 2, wonderful game. And yeah, then we just have the Kinect games that I will do a video on one day. Like I said, once I've collected them all, or at least as many as I can, I do really genuinely intend to make a Kinect video. But I just want to get all the games together first. So, I'm bigcal. Thanks for watching. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of my pickups. Let me know what you bought recently, and I'll see you again next time.